Hello and welcome to the first video on the SAP SD module. In this tutorial series, I'll be explaining SAP sales and distribution processes in 4 parts: basics, master data, order fulfillment process, and additional transactions in sales. Each part will begin with a short preview of the upcoming content and end with a summary. I assume you have basic knowledge of SAP ERP, including system navigation. Initially, I'll demonstrate the complete menu path, and in subsequent videos, I'll focus within the Sales and Distribution folder. I also assume you understand the differences between create, change, and display transactions. When demonstrating a create transaction, I'll focus on inputs directly and occasionally use F4 search help. Non-essential fields on screens won't be explained, and names, addresses, dates, quantities, or prices are not relevant to the content. These tutorials will emphasize the processing of sales documents. I hope you enjoy these video lectures. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments. I'll respond as soon as possible. Let's get started. Basics of sales and distribution in SAP. This section focuses on outlining the most essential elements of performing sales and distribution activities in SAP ERP. It covers where in the SAP menu you will work. Then, the standard sales process, along with the corresponding documents, will be presented. Following that, the foundation for documents, the organizational units, and master data for sales are discussed. Finally, a review completes this section. These are the essential elements of the basics in sales and distribution. That concludes the short preview. The SAP Sales and Distribution component sales are an integral part of any enterprise, as the sale of products to customers ensures the success of a company. The Sales and Distribution component, called SD, supports sales processes with corresponding functions in the SAP system. This video briefly shows where these functions are located in the SAP menu tree, what they contain, and how they can be accessed. Let's start with the SAP menu. Sales and distribution is part of the logistics application. Therefore, I will open the corresponding folder in the SAP menu tree and navigate to Sales and Distribution. This folder contains a variety of subfolders. However, only master data, sales, shipping, transport, and billing are relevant for this course. Even within these subfolders, from the large selection of transactions, only those necessary for an initial understanding of how sales processes are performed in SAP are discussed. Transaction codes usually start with the letters VV for the German word Vertrieb, which includes sales and distribution. This dates back to the early years of SAP, when only the German language was used. In processes, these transactions are executed in a defined order but at different times. As you already know, you can access the transactions from the menu tree. Sales process at a glance. All complex processes consist of a sequence of individual business processes. This also applies to the sales process. In the next few minutes, these individual business processes during sales will be presented together with the corresponding SAP documents. By the end of the video, you'll be familiar with each step in the sales process, including pre-sales, sales, shipping, billing, and payment. You will also learn about the documents used to record these processes in SAP ERP. Let's start with the general sales process. The central task of any sales department is to sell the company's products. The corresponding activities form the sales process. These activities include sales, shipping, and billing. In technical terms, this process is also called order to cash, or O2C. At the beginning of the process, there are likely pre-sales activities such as inquiries and quotations. After the customer places an order, shipping and transportation will be arranged. This comprises picking, packing, transportation planning, and goods issue. Next, the customer is invoiced for the goods supplied or services rendered. Payment made by the customer then completes the standardized sales process. These were the individual steps in the sales process. Let's continue with the corresponding SAP documents. According to the document principle in SAP, all individual business transactions in sales are mapped to corresponding documents. For pre-sales activities, these include the inquiry and quotation documents. An inquiry records a customer's request, while a quotation provides the relevant sales information to the customer. For sales, there's the sales order. This document contains all the important sales data, including customer information, sales items like goods or services, pricing and conditions data, delivery dates, and delivery quantities. For shipping, there's the outbound delivery. When the outbound delivery is created, shipping activities such as picking or delivery scheduling are initiated. Data generated during shipping processing is included in the delivery. If the warehouse management component is active, you may create a transfer order. For transportation planning, there's the shipment document, which contains all the information necessary for transportation. The goods issue is recorded in a material document and a corresponding accounting document. For billing, an invoice is used, and an accounting document is created automatically. These were the specific SAP documents for the individual steps in the sales process. Organizational units in sales and distribution. In SAP, business transactions can only be carried out within an existing organizational structure. Therefore, when customizing transactions, organizational units must be defined and assigned to each other. This way, the real organizational structure of an enterprise is mapped to organizational units in SAP. In the following lesson, the organizational units important for sales and distribution are presented: sales organization, distribution channel, and division, as well as sales area, sales office, and sales group. Finally, we will cover plant, storage location, and shipping point. Let's start with the first three organizational units in sales. The sales organization is in charge of the sale and distribution of goods and services. All sales-related transactions are executed within the framework of a sales organization. This organizational unit negotiates sales conditions for products, guarantees, and other rights to recourse. In customizing, a sales organization is defined as a 4-digit key with a description and an address. To determine the accounting posting for sales, it needs to be assigned to a company code. A distribution channel represents the way you distribute your goods into the market. It may be wholesale, retail, or internet trade, for example. A distribution channel is a grouping of various distribution methods that a company uses to distribute goods to its customers. It is identified via a 2-character key and a meaningful description. A division is used to group certain goods or services that are treated similarly. Therefore, a division represents a product line. It is defined as a 2-digit numeric or alphanumeric key, along with a description. Divisions are cross-application units within logistics. They are also used in materials management and product planning. So these were sales organization, distribution channel, and division. Next comes sales area and 2 optional internal units. The sales area is of central importance in the sales process. It is, strictly speaking, not a standalone organizational unit, but rather a unique combination of sales organization, distribution channel, and division. Therefore, a sales area does not have a key of its own. These 3 units determine how a sales organization can distribute the products or services of a particular division. To use the sales module in SAP, there must be at least one defined sales area in the system. This means, implicitly, that there must be at least one sales organization, one distribution channel, and one division. You cannot create a sales document or enter a customer master record in SD without a sales area. Using the organizational units Sales Office and Sales Group, however, is optional. These units can be used to map the internal organization in sales. Various sales-related geographical locations of an organization can be maintained as sales offices and represent a branch office or sales territory. Sales offices are assigned to one or more sales areas. A sales group represents the grouping of sales staff that carry out the sales activities. This grouping is based on areas of responsibility. Each sales group must be assigned to a sales office for which it can operate. So these were the sales area, sales office, and sales group. Let's continue with plant, storage location, and shipping point. A plant is the central organizational element in the entire logistics chain and is not only used in sales. In customizing, a plant is defined as a 4-digit key with a description and an address. A plant can be a production facility, a material stock location, or even a repair facility. From the point of view of SAP SD, a plant can be defined as a material stock location from where you can source the delivery of goods to your customers. It's therefore also called a delivery plant. Each item in a sales document must always be assigned to a plant. You cannot use the sales functionality in SAP without at least one plant. A plant can be subdivided into several storage locations to define more precisely where the goods are located. In SAP, storage locations are represented by 4-digit keys. Different storage locations can be named identically in different plants, so only the combination of a plant and a storage location is unique. A shipping point represents the organizational entity where deliveries are processed. Each plant needs to have at least one shipping point from where the deliveries related to that plant can be processed. You cannot create and process a delivery in SAP without a shipping point. So these were plant, storage location, and shipping point. And with that, you now know all the relevant organizational units for sales and distribution. Overview of master data in PSD. Several master data elements are vital to efficiently recording documents in the SAP system. They are maintained in advance by various departments and made available for day-to-day business. You will be introduced to different types of master data in the sales environment. These include the customer master, material master, customer material information, and condition master data for pricing. Let's start with the customer master. When sales to the same customer are repeated, a customer master is created. This eliminates the need to re-enter data and allows data with various controlling functions to be used. Customers can only be created with an assignment to an account group. A customer account group categorizes customers, such as domestic and overseas customers, allowing them to be controlled differently. The customer master has 3 distinct sections. 1. General data. 2. Accounting data. 3. Sales data. It can be maintained using different sets of transactions, each giving different views of the data entered for the customer. XD01. Create customer centrally to maintain all views at once. FTE01. Create customer via accounting. V01. Create customer via sales. For one-time sales, a CPT, contrapositive customer, may be used. This customer master record is designed for one-time customers. Customer data, such as addresses, are entered once using this master record, but specific data is saved only in the sales document and not in the master record. Now that you've reviewed the customer master, let's continue with the material master. The material master contains all the information about the product being sold. This information is shared across the organization and maintained by different departments. It is structured in views according to various functions such as the purchasing view, sales view, and accounting view. Related data is structured in 3 views. 1. Sales, sales organization, 1-2. Sales, sales organization, 2-3. Sales channel planned. Different types of materials, e.g. raw materials, finished goods, need to be managed. Materials with a similar set of attributes are grouped under the same material type. The material type controls screen sequence, data fields, and data. SAP has predefined material types that meet most business requirements, but custom material types can be created as needed. During sales processing, the system repeatedly accesses the material master records, which serve as a basic source of data for sales. Now let's turn to the customer material information record. For material data defined for a specific customer, the customer material information record is used. This record stores customer-specific material numbers, material descriptions, or delivery data. If a customer material information record exists, the data defined there takes priority over data in the customer or material master record. These records are assigned to a sales organization and distribution channel. Transaction DE51 is used for maintaining them. Now that you know about the customer material information, let's have a look at conditions. During a sales transaction, the calculation of the final price usually involves several pricing elements. Items typically have a base price, from which discounts are deducted, and VAT is added to determine the final price. All pricing elements are defined in SAP as condition types. The four main categories are 1. Prices 2, surcharges or discounts 3, freight 4, taxes,